Ever wondered if there was something you could bring back from extinction? The dodo? Bus conductors? Old-style cream eggs? Well, a group of SVR volunteers was so determined to see a particular steam locomotive rise from the dead that they built a new one from scratch.
This is an example of the BR Standard Class 3 tank. Now, these were built in the 1950s, and it is generally agreed that it was one of the types of engine that would have been suited perfectly to railways like this. So the idea was to recreate this lost class. It's a tank engine, so it can work equally well forwards or backwards, has the right power level to work services on lines like this. It was chosen because it is economical, it's easy to operate, it's easy to maintain, and it should provide years of reliable service for the Severn Valley Railway.
Severn Valley Railway is one of the bigger heritage railways in the United Kingdom. It runs through a very scenic part of the countryside, and this particular type of engine, we think, is ideally suited for a heritage railway of this sort of length, so we think can be ideal for those Monday to Friday trains.
The number is 82045, as you will see. The class actually ran as far as number 82044, which was built in 1955. The modernisation plan came in that year, and the order for the next batch, which would have included this one, was cancelled. There was nothing wrong with the engines at all, they were excellent performers, but they came into being at the same time as the early diesel multiple units, which were able to do the same job. So the result was that before very long, they found themselves short of work. We took over the project in 2003. Tony Massow asked me if I would come in with him and handle the non-engineering parts of the project. Then gradually, Tony managed to acquire a team of very well-skilled engineers, and the project then took off very, very quickly. We are now at the stage, after 18 years, the engine is within sight of completion, and we are hoping that it will steam for the first time in the latter part of 2023.
In a project like this, you always encounter a few problems that you don't necessarily expect. Quite a few years will have passed in the interim. I think you just look to the future and think one day it's all going to be finished, and how good it will be to see it's actually on the front of a train going down the valley.
I first got involved when I was a member of the paid staff. Probably Chris Proudfoot or Tony Massow asked the foreman at the time if someone could do a lift, and I was nominated, and I got interested in it and carried on. Today we've mounted the pony trucks onto the wagon for transporting around into the yard, so that in hopefully the very near future they can go underneath the engine. The pony truck is two wheels on an axle, and they're mounted on the engine on a pivot, and it guides it into the bends much smoother. And also, of course, it helps with weight distribution. Driving the JCB, you've got to think about everything around you. You've got to literally have eyes in the back of your head. We did a practice lift a few months ago, and we knew exactly where to put the slings, and it came up nice and level. I feel quite proud of the fact that we've managed it without incident. It's gone smoother than I could ever hope. We've spent a number of months out here in all weathers working on these trucks, and now we've come to a stage where we can see, hopefully within the next couple of months, that they go underneath the engine.
Without the volunteer input, we would never have been able to do it. But because we have a team of expert engineers working on it, the money that I've been able to raise has been stretched as far as it could possibly go. Initially, it will cause huge excitement. It will bring people in to come on the railway, to spend money on the railway. Thereafter, it should provide one of the mainstays of the steam services on the railway, because it's a new engine. It's being built to very exacting standards.
Really looking forward to it being completed, as we've spent so many hours, weeks, days, years building it. And they're now looking forward to being able to take it down the line. I will have to have someone with me because I've reached retiring age, but even so, we're still looking forward to taking it down the railway with 8 coaches just to prove that a standard Class 3 can do the job.
When it first steams, it will be a great sense of pride and achievement at so many years of hard work, and probably thinking, well, what do we do now?
I'd love to do another one, but I think we're all too old.
So now you've met 82045 and some of the team behind raising it from the ashes. We'll have more news on the progress of this project as it nears completion. Please like this film and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll never miss an update.